I'm just a human being. Um, Things aren't right in the world. We know this. We pay attention, and it's pretty bad. Maybe it seems reasonable because we've been living like this for a long time now, with a lot of suffering in the world, and us suffering too. To whatever degree. And it sucks because it doesn't seem like there's anything that we can do about it. And I can see how people can sort of tune out because it just seems like they're suffering for nothing. They'd rather just not think about it, or they'd say people who do think about it, they're thinking too much, or they're getting into things that are just out of their control. But I think that it is in our control, and I'm not talking about trying to convince everybody that a bunch of things that are commonly referred to as conspiracy theories are true, and that we can just all link hands and start marching down our own government bases here in America, in hopes that our soldiers will not shoot us down to protect military secrets for national security, right? But what I am talking about is taking that power away. I feel fairly convinced that the power is what caused the insanity that led to the decisions that have drones bombing children in other countries, innocent people in other countries, that have the media controlled to keep us thinking that there's issues going on over there that are being taken care of as best they can at the cost of our own sons and daughters, our own money, which supposedly we need to keep things going for the greater good. I think that power created that insanity. It was a strange kind of narcissism, maybe a sort of group narcissism. I don't know. I don't want to put any names on these people that are making these decisions. I don't think it's our representatives. And if it is, our representatives definitely aren't representing us. If they were, they would have informed us about what they were going to do before they did it, and why. And it wouldn't have been false information like what we're seeing on the news. In any case, I think we have a decision that we can make that will bring an end to the suffering, and it might not be quite immediate, but for sure it will end eventually the suffering that we see now, and it will, I think, entirely prevent it from ever happening again. I'm talking about no more war in the world ever, and not just big wars, even small wars for in localized places for food or for water or for whatever little groups are even fighting over. We do this by ending the monetary system. We do this by sort of collectively grouping together, and we can use the internet for this very easily, I think. I don't have the skills. I'm not even an orator. I just have an idea. We do this by, using the internet to assess what our needs are. Food and shelter, and not just us, but everybody who has a need. We try to assess those too. And I think that here in America, if we can get Americans to start this, it doesn't have to be just America, but if we Americans who have free thought, supposedly, can recognize this as a means to an end of suffering, we can sort of collect a place where we can all recognize what the needs are and meet them without money. We use machinery that has already been made and available. This is going to take a big collective effort. That's the only hard thing, is that enough people have to be aware of what I'm saying and willing to give up their riches, things people have worked hard for in a lot of cases, to give all that up for the sake of making sure that every child is fed, that everybody's got a place to live, everybody's got free education, that there's no longer a need for women to prostitute themselves so that they can make money to live. So there's no longer a need to imprison people who smoked a joint or sold a joint, you know, at least to adults maybe, you know, and have their lives ruined over that. So there's no longer a need to cut down all the forests instead of planting hemp. There's plenty of information on that. Pharmaceutical industry. I mean, I've seen photo documentaries of people curing their own skin cancer with hemp oil, and this should have already made the headlines because people are dying and getting sick right now because of it. Not only because of the cancer, but because of the drugs they take to try to help with the cancer. War profiteering. You know, there won't be any profit. The profit won't be useful. You can get your food, you know, and if we all just contribute, we'll have to contribute a lot less because we won't have any more cashiers, we won't have any more bankers, we won't have any more loan officers or insurance company people. All those people will have to help make the food and make the shelter. And it's not like I'm saying we're just going to cut down to food and shelter and that's all we have, community. You know, we'll have enough resources and time, especially when robots start doing a lot of that work for us, which will be free. That's one of the problems, and they won't be taking away jobs because that won't be an issue anymore. We'll have a lot more time to make the stuff we like: movies, music, education, commodities, cameras, equipment, technology. In fact, I'm sure we'll be making it a lot quicker with free education because a lot more people are going to know how. You know, if you're interested in it, you don't have to afford an education or put yourself in debt or, you know, make these huge sacrifices that may be risks or at the fear that you might not be able to do it. Fear being the one thing that might prevent you from doing it, or the stress, you know, making it difficult. None of that will be an issue anymore. I'm talking about us being free and at the same time freeing up the rest of the world and taking our own guns out of other people's faces. And people that aren't a part of it, that just wanted to live a happy life. And us securing our own happy lives in the same process, and not having big corporations buy our government and make our rules for us. CEOs of drug companies swapping suddenly the chair on the FDA. You know, this is corrupt, and I think it's money that corrupted it. And I think that if enough of us can collect, and I'm talking maybe 80-90% of us, all recognize, okay, money is the issue. And it's not a way to make things fair. It's actually the one thing that's destroying any kind of equality or human dignity. And to give it up collectively, to use the resources that we already have, and there's plenty. Life can be easy. It's not going to happen right away, but it will happen. I think it's a guaranteed path to human success. I hope this, you know, makes sense. Thank you.